Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. My all-time favorite meal is biryani. Now I've had several varieties of biryani and I've made several biryani recipes. Adding to that list is another special biryani. This is Donne Biryani. Now Donne is actually, it's like a bowl made with palm leaves, and since this biryani is served in a donne, hence the name. Now you can make this biryani either with chicken or mutton, but I personally love mutton. I enjoy mutton biryani, so I am going to share this wonderful mutton biryani recipe. Now I'll also give you a couple of tips on how to make it with chicken, and this involves a lot of steps, so make sure you follow all the steps perfectly to get it beautifully. So why wait, let's get started and check out the recipe. For this particular recipe, I've taken 2 kilos of mutton with bone. So this is nice fresh mutton. So first we're going to marinate the mutton. So for this, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of salt, about 1 teaspoon turmeric powder. So next add about 4 teaspoons of red chili powder, about 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, and about 2 tablespoons of fresh curd. So just mix everything nicely. So make sure you rub the pieces with the marinade. So this is going to give you a lot of flavor to the meat. So you can follow all these steps while making the chicken biryani as well. Now that I've marinated the mutton, I'm just going to let this sit for about 1 hour. Meanwhile, I'm just going to get all the other masalas for the biryani ready. First I'm going to make the onion green chili masala paste. For this, to the pan add 2 teaspoons of oil. I'm using gingerly oil. You can use any vegetable oil or sunflower oil for this. First add a few pieces of cinnamon, few cardamom, some cloves, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns. So the cinnamon pieces are actually the thin cinnamon pieces. So if you're using the thick variety, you can probably just use 2 pieces of cinnamon. Next I'm adding about 5 large onions that have been thinly sliced. After sauteing the onions for about 2 minutes, add 10 green chilies. So I am using about 10 large green chilies for this recipe. Usually the biryani is made a little more spicier, so they add a lot more green chilies. But you can adjust the heat. There is a quantity of green chilies depending on the quantity of rice and the meat that you are using. I have sauteed the onions till they are nice and transparent. At this point, turn off the stove and cool the mixture. So the ingredients for the masala has cooled down completely. Next, I am going to grind it. To the mixer jar, add the sauteed onions and green chilies. Add a little water and grind it to a nice fine paste. Remove the masala from the jar and keep it aside. The onion green chili masala smells amazing because of the spices, and the masala itself is so aromatic. Next, for the green masala paste, to the pan add 1 teaspoon of gingerly oil. To this add 1 bowl of fresh mint leaves, 1 bowl of chopped coriander leaves, and I'm adding a handful of fenugreek leaves. So the fenugreek leaves is going to give you a nice flavor to the biryani. So make sure you don't add too much of the fenugreek leaves. Just saute the leaves together for about 2 to 3 minutes till they are all wilted. Remove from the pan and cool it completely. So the ingredients for the masala has cooled down completely. Next I am going to grind it. To the mixer jar add the sauteed mint, coriander and fenugreek leaves. Add a little water and grind it to a nice fine paste. Remove the green paste from the mixer jar and keep it aside. So next I'm going to cook the mutton pieces. To the pressure cooker add 2 teaspoons of gingerly oil. Next add about 3 tablespoons of ghee. I usually use a lot of ghee for my biryanis because it makes the biryani very rich and flavorful. If you don't want to use that much of ghee, you can cut down the ghee a little and add a little more oil. To the pressure cooker, add 1 piece of cinnamon, add a few cloves, add a few cardamom pods. Next add star anise. I'm adding 3 small pieces. Bay leaf, mace, about 3 pieces. Next add stone flour, 1 teaspoon shahi jeera, 1 teaspoon fennel, that is somph. Add the whole spices while keeping the flame on low. You don't want to burn them. Next add 1 medium sized onion thinly sliced. Saute the onions till they are a nice golden brown color. Once the onions have come to a nice golden brown color, so I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. So we're going to add the ginger and garlic paste separately and 3 teaspoons of garlic paste. So I'm using a lot more of the garlic paste for this biryani. Next add 1 medium sized tomato chopped. Now the tomato is optional for this recipe. While I was making this recipe at home, I added 1 tomato and the flavors were just amazing. So I thought I should show you guys with the tomato. So the flavor of the tomato, that little tanginess, it adds a lot of flavor to the biryani. So I'm adding 1 medium sized tomato. Now I'm going to add all the marinated mutton pieces. If you're making chicken, you can make everything in the same pot. So if you're making in the pressure cooker, you can cook the chicken in the same pot. But the thing is, the mutton takes a longer time to cook. So I'm making it in 2 different pots. First I'm going to pressure cook the mutton and then cook the rice along with this in a different pot. So you can see the pieces are releasing a lot of juice. Now add the onion paste. So after you add the onion paste, mix it nicely along with the mutton pieces. Next add the green paste and mix the mutton pieces nicely along with the paste. The water quantity for this biryani is very important. So for this recipe I've taken 1 kilo of rice. So I've measured it and it's come to about 4 3/4 cup. And the cup measurement is a 250 ml cup. So for this I'm using 5.5 cups of water, that is liquid. You don't want to waste any of the masala from the mixer jars. So you can add a little bit of water to the mixer jars and also add that water to the cooker. So totally I've added about 5.5 cups of water for 1 kilo of rice. At this point check for seasoning. I'm adding about 2 teaspoons of salt. So you can adjust the salt according to your taste. So now I'm going to pressure cook the mutton pieces for about 20 minutes on medium to low flame. So the specialty of this biryani is in the rice. It's made with this short grain rice which is called the Zeeraga Samba rice or the Kaima rice. So make sure when you're making this particular biryani, you get this particular rice to make it. So I've measured this 1 kilo rice with a 250 ml cup and I've got about 4 3/4 cup of rice. I'm just going to wash it a few times, pour enough water and soak it for about 20 minutes. So you can see the color, it's got this lovely rich dark green color. The mutton has cooked beautifully. So now I'm going to cook the rice along with the mutton gravy. So I'm going to make the biryani in this large pot because once we add the rice, it's going to double in quantity. So I'm going to transfer the cooked mutton along with the curry, that is the gravy, into this large pot. So now I'm going to add the soaked rice. The rice has been soaking for about 20 minutes now. So we're going to cook this on a medium-low flame. So maintain the flame on a medium-low throughout. So gently mix the rice along with the mutton gravy. So before I close the pot, I'm just going to check for seasoning. So I'm going to just add a little bit of salt just to balance out all the flavors. So I've checked now, it's perfect. Close the pot and cook for about 25 minutes on medium flame. After 10 minutes, open the pot and gently mix the rice along with the gravy. This is to ensure that everything is mixed evenly and properly. After 25 minutes, you can see the rice is cooked beautifully. All the excess moisture is absorbed. Close the pot and let it sit for about 10 minutes before you serve. So here is this absolutely flavorful and fragrant Donne Biryani. I am serving this in a donne along with some nice chicken salna, some eggs and raita by the side. This is an absolutely delightful biryani. I really had a great time sharing this recipe with you guys. Hope you would try it and enjoy it. So there you go, here is this absolutely incredible Donne Biryani. Now the flavors are just fantastic. Make sure you follow all the steps to get it right, and you can actually make this biryani either with chicken or mutton. This is best served with some just raita by the side. You can also enjoy it with some nice salna or gravy. So do try the recipe, enjoy and share it with your family and friends.